Hello, everybody. My name is Mason. I'm a college student, not a film student. I just happen to really like film. And today we are talking about Morbius. Now, I want to preface this by saying that I have been extremely excited for Morbius since 2020 when it was originally supposed to come out. All these delays, and I've just been so excited. And going into it, I was terrified because it wasn't getting stellar reviews. It was actually getting just shit on. And that was heartbreaking because I was so excited to see Jared Leto's interpretation of the character. I actually like Jared Leto as the Joker. I know that's pretty scary to think that I actually like that because a lot of people don't, but for what he was given, I thought he did a good job. I think Jared Leto is a great actor, and I was excited to see this. So, what did I think about Morbius? It was fine. It was not the wonderful film that I was expecting, but it was also not the trash fire that I was expecting just today. I waited, what's today? Today's Tuesday. I waited till April 5th to see this movie because I was afraid to get my heart broken. But I didn't. I was actually a little relieved for it to be not as bad as it seemed from what everybody else was saying. My main complaints for this film is that it was quite rushed. The pacing was just too fast. Even the final battle was like, wait, that was it? Hell, even the post-credit scenes were super fast. Disappointed. I was expecting to at least, get some meat off of this movie. It kind of felt like an appetizer, I guess, rather than a full course. But it is what it is. One of the other things I didn't really like about this movie, and it's something that I saw before going into it, is that people were saying this is a comic book movie that would have been made in the early 2000s. They're completely correct. The villain motivation, just the setup, all that, seems so generic and played out. There wasn't anything new, groundbreaking. Recently, especially in Marvel movies, they tend to try new things, right? And that's always been refreshing. Sometimes it doesn't always work out. Sometimes it works out for the best. But in this case, they just went so formulaic with at least how comic book movies have been in the past. And it was also pretty disappointing because, again, this is a vampire movie, right? Morbius, the living vampire. There could have been so many better ways of doing this, and it's just basic. So another thing that I saw was that the CGI wasn't all that great, and I thought in the trailers the CGI looked quite good. And for the most part, I would say that the CGI in this movie was pretty good, especially the echolocation stuff. I thought it looked awesome. Now, some of the fighting, yeah, it was a little PS3 graphics, honestly, maybe PS4, which is kind of strange because, this movie was delayed for 2 years. Like, you had 2 years to work on this. It was a little disappointing in that aspect. But honestly, for the most part, the CGI was quite good, so I don't really know why people are saying that the CGI was awful. Honestly, the echolocation especially was like really good. So I don't know what their problem is. Now let's start talking about some of the positives of this movie. Jared Leto, I thought he was awesome. Now obviously we don't have a whole lot of Morbius to compare him to like we did with the Joker, but from what I understand of the character, I thought he was awesome. I mean, I don't really know Morbius all that well. The Spider-Man, I think, 90s cartoon, that kicked ass for sure. Morbius was cool in that. This Morbius, I thought he did a good job. I liked his interpretation. Again, I don't have much to compare it to, but I thought Morbius was good. Matt Smith, I mean, he was fine. I don't think the character really had a whole lot there to really do anything with. So, I'm just going to say he was fine. It definitely wasn't bad. That's for sure. So I talked about the movie feeling quite rushed, but one positive I would say is, the first 15, 20 minutes of the movie, really up until he became the vampire, was actually quite well paced. I was like watching it and I was going, this isn't so bad so far. So I'll give him props for that. The introduction to Michael Morbius and his, disease and all that, it gripped me, I would say. And yeah, I would be remiss without mentioning that. So my final thoughts on Morbius is that while a quite poorly paced film, I found myself still enjoying it. And while I couldn't really recommend this movie to, say, someone like my mom, I would recommend this to, someone like my friends who went with me to go see it, because we like these kind of movies, even though this is definitely not the top tier echelon of these types of films. It's definitely not the bottom tier. So I just want to put that. I would say it's lower mid, okay? But I am extremely excited to see where this character goes, if it's able to go anywhere, because the poor critic reviews might put a damper on many possibilities of a sequel. Only time will tell. And there we have it. Those are my thoughts on Morbius. Tell me what you thought about the movie down in the comment section down below if you've seen it. If you haven't, then tell me something else. Anything. Please, just comment down below. You guys aren't doing it enough. I'm begging you here to talk to me. I'm so lonely. Anyways, leave a like on this video if you want to see more videos like this. Or if you don't want to see more videos like this, leave a like anyway, because I'm telling you to. Subscribe, as always, because I'm pretty cool. I mean, come on. Anyway, until next time, my name's Mason, and I will see you in the next video. Take care.